In the net, that last final point. Well, we looked at the net and it was bouncing up and down, and we were like, all right, Harper didn't touch it and the ball didn't touch it. So Coach was kind of hesitant at first, and we were just like, Coach, like, you might as well, like, it's game point, like, what do we have to lose at this point? And so honestly, we weren't 100% sure that they were in the net. We just saw it bouncing, so we were like, you might as well go for it. And so I think we probably would have liked it to end a little more on like a kill or some huge play, but at the end of the day, we got the win, and that's all that matters. So we weren't really 100% sure they were in the net, though.
Bergen said they were, so we were like, do it. Because we knew it wasn't the ball.
Harper, you have that, I think you had an error at the end of the fourth set to go down 23-21. What, your mentality changed after that, and then the fifth set you had, what kind of changed for you late in the match?
At the end of the day, we want to play as a team. We want to play for each other. So my mindset, honestly, was just do it for my team, and they need me right now. And I'll be the first to admit, like, that wasn't my best game. But at the end of the day, like, I had to do it for my teammates, and I had to figure out some way to get us a point. And I think at the end of the day, like, that was my mentality. Just do it for my team and do it for other people.
44 attack errors.
It was not pretty.
It says a lot, but
it was not pretty at all, and we knew that. And we just kind of had to figure out, like, okay, like, we're not playing our best volleyball across the board, but we're still going to figure out a way to win. And at the end of the day, we just talked about having each other's backs no matter what happens. And I don't really know how we did it with 44 attack errors, but we did. So definitely need to work on that, and it was ugly. But at the end of the day, we got the win, and that's all that we care about is bringing the win back to Nebraska volleyball's program.
A lot of that was from Wisconsin's block. They had 14 blocks in the second set alone. Just how did you guys try to get out of that?
I think just swinging high hands, but also I think it was more mental than physical at the end of the day. Getting stuffed blocked that many times is a very big mental obstacle, and so we went to the locker room and we were like, look, it's 0-0 right now. In between the second and third set, it's 0-0. Like, it doesn't matter what just happened in that set. We just have to go out there, keep swinging. We knew that we couldn't just start roll shotting and tipping balls because they would just transition them and get kills. So we just kind of had to make a few adjustments, swing really high and keep swinging hard and find ways to get kills. I mean, they're a great team. They're a huge physical team, and they're going to get blocks, but we just had to find ways to get around them.
What does it say about your squad's resiliency that you guys bounced back from that second set and bounced back from a Wisconsin match point and set 4 and then win it?
I mean, we've talked about it all year. Like, this team is very gritty and very resilient, and there's never a doubt in any of our heads that we're going to lose. Even like after that second set, there was never a doubt that we were going to lose. We knew that we were going to find a way to come back, and I think having 44 errors and finding a way to win just speaks how our team is. We're going to find a way even in the ugly, and that's what we've been talking about a lot this year is winning in the ugly no matter what. And so we always find a way, and I think that's one of our biggest strengths is we're just going to have each other's backs and figure out a way to get around it.
What was it like playing in that atmosphere in there tonight?
I got it. I mean, we know how Nebraska fans are, and that crowd proved it. I know that they said, like, the attendance record when we were playing, but I think we all knew Husker Nation is, like, a great fan base, and that's exactly why. And they're a big part of why we won. Like, their energy and everything that they bring to our games and our support is more than, like, we can't even explain how much it means to us. So they're just as much a part of that as we are, and they continue to just be there for us and support us no matter what.
To do it without Lindsay, what does that say about the team, and what was she providing in terms of support on the sidelines?
We have so many people that can step up when we need to, and that's exactly what Allie did. And Lindsay's a huge part of our team. She's a very big vocal leader, and we all have to step up in that aspect just to help pick up that slack. But Allie did an amazing job, and that's exactly what we practice for. Game changers are what we need, and Allie did that.
Harper, I think when we told the story on the radio about when your class visited for a Wisconsin match that they lost, that you guys told Cook when you get here, Nebraska wasn't going to lose matches like that.
No.
Do you remember that?
I do. We have, we actually talked about it today. The freshmen and Jalen have a group chat, and in one of the text threads from like a year ago when we lost to Wisconsin, he was like, that's not happening again. And we all were like, yeah, we got it. It's not. So I think just to prove that happened, and we didn't even play our best, and we still pulled out a win. So I think that mentality that the freshmen have, and I know that Merritt's a big part of that just because we all look to her as a leader, and having her there for us, but like the freshmen, we know we have big roles on this team, and we have to prove that. So just having that mentality and going out there every day, just swinging.
Merritt, what's it like to have a player like Harper on your side of the net, and that the game hasn't gone pretty, but to be able to step up in those moments and deliver the kills when your team needs it?
Yeah, it's huge. And we talked in the fourth set, and I was just kind of like, look, what do you need? Like, you're in this position for a reason, and you're one heck of a player, and if you weren't, you wouldn't be out here right now. And so I know that she has a ton of belief in herself, and sometimes I have to remind her a little bit because she's really hard on herself, and that's what makes her so good. But, I mean, it's huge. I think all of our freshmen stepped up at very big moments during that match, and it's really cool to have Harper, obviously, but also all of them be able to step in big moments. It's very special, but they all just have a ton of confidence in themselves, and they know what they bring to the game, and they know at the end of the day what they can do, and they do it. So lots of credit to all of them.
Lainey's
That was great.
so animated. I mean, she was ready to cry when she was serving the last few because she's just so invested. What does she bring to the team just from an emotional standpoint?
Yeah, she's a firecracker. She kind of lights the fire for us, and she's always going to bring energy vocally and, like you said, like body language wise, she's always giving to the team. And I think it's very good to have some people like that and to have a little more calm, steady people like most of us on the team are. But I think she kind of lights the fire and gives us the energy that we need in those moments. And like you said, she's a very emotional player, and she brings that day in and day out.
Final questions?
This feels like a match that you can learn a lot about yourself and take forward, especially as you want to keep progressing. What would you say you learned most about yourself, at least so far, without having watched tape or anything else? Just thinking about this night.
Well, one, I would say the resiliency piece. You can have 44 errors and still find a way to win on this team. And so I think Coach always talks about building the callus and building all those experiences that this team necessarily doesn't have. We're building those experiences every single day that later down the road we can rely on. So I would say that would be the first one. And then obviously the second one would be not to have 44 hitting errors. But that's something that I'm sure we'll be working on a lot this week in practice, and Coach will have an answer for that. But I would say those would probably be the two biggest things for sure.
Speaking of Coach, that may have been the happiest I've seen him. Very fun. Just what was it like seeing him soak in the moment too?
Yeah, he's been great this entire week after Northwestern. He showed that he believed in us a lot, and I think that was huge for us going into this match. Is if Coach knew we were going to win, we were going to win. And so seeing it pay off and seeing the win actually happen for him, it was just so surreal. And the rest of the team was already in the locker room, but like him with the student sections out there, I'm going to make all of them go watch it back on TV because it was the coolest thing ever. He like put on one of their little cowboy hats and was dancing around with them. Like, it was so cool. I think those are just the moments that make all the sacrifices that we make worth it. So it was very special.